They're driven by tourists.
Oh, OK, I'll watch out.
Good. So, looking forward to the drive down?
Yeah, well, I was.
Thieves in Spain have been targeting hire cars and UK-registered vehicles, so be extra careful on the roads. For details, visit gov.uk and search for Living in Spain.
You can follow me on Twitter @holiday_hut. So now single travellers. And single travellers can feel that they are being penalised just because they decide to travel on their own. The single supplement is always regarded as unfair as the price increases, especially during the school holidays. This problem is basically down to the way that travel companies advertise. They obviously want to be seen as offering a bargain, so they advertise holiday prices in a format that makes them to be as cheap as possible. This usually means they use pound per person, and the price is determined by dividing the room cost by the maximum number of adults that can be fitted into the room. The actual room is the same price whether or not the maximum number of adults are sharing it, and this gives rise to the single supplement, which is used to ensure that a full room price is paid for the booking. When a single supplement gets unfair is when the travel company adds extra to make up for any shortfall they think they would have made from 2 adults travelling. It's not just singles that have to pay more, couples and families do as well, which is known as the under-occupancy fee. If it's decided that 4 adults can share a room, then if just 2 adults book it, they have to pay more than the advertised price, and the same if they have 2 kids. So how can you get a fair price if you're travelling alone? Well, obviously the first one is to stay in a hotel with single rooms. A single room can actually be cheaper per person than a per person price double. But not all hotels offer these, and there isn't that many to go around, so you do need to book in advance. Offer to share. If you fancy a group touring trip, find out if most of your fellow travellers are travelling in pairs. If they are, see if the company is forward thinking enough to put you on a wait list for a tour with a greater number of single travellers. Then, if you feel comfortable with sharing with a same-sex stranger, offer to share a room with another single. Make sure you're a good match though. You don't want an early bird if you'd like to spend time as long as possible in bed in the mornings. And here's a tip for you, if you're not a vegan, never ever share a room with a vegan. Travel off-peak. Any booking is better than no booking, so try for a special deal when the hotel is quiet or mainly empty. Check which companies offer a lower supplement. Most resort hotels are offered by numerous tour operators, so do shop around. Check out last-minute deals. As with off-peak, any booking is better than no booking at all, so if they need to fill the hotel, there may be some last-minute deals as well. And finally on this little bit, use a membership service to find a travel companion. There are many internet groups that give you the chance to get to know somebody before travelling with them as a companion. And this is better than the old published directories that used to be available, because you've got plenty of chance to spend connection time to each other online, which is a lot better than writing letters or making phone calls. But as always, there's safety issues whether you're travelling on your own or in a group. But I suppose when you're on your own, you should be more aware, because being on your own does make you more vulnerable to crime, which is mostly theft more than crimes against the person. And this petty crime can often happen on trains, in the airport, or even in a hotel lobby. So when you're on your own, never leave your stuff unattended, even if you need to pay a visit to the toilet. If you have a nap, if you're getting to my age now, that happens quite often, make sure that anybody tried to move your stuff, you will be woken up. Always ensure at least one person knows your movements, and do keep in regular contact with them to update them on your itinerary or any changes. And you should always leave your planned holiday trip a copy of the itinerary with somebody at home, so they can always know where you should be on a certain date. Only use taxis from official taxi ranks or taxis recommended by your hotel. Yes, this does cost more, but you will be safer than just by calling one in the street. I have actually taken a taxi in the Cayman Islands and a district taxi in a biro in the back of the car, and I was fine. I just weighed it up and I thought, yeah, I'll be fine. But I don't suggest you ever do that. Just always use proper taxis you know the source of the booking from. And always use local advice from the tourist board about local guides if you want to have a guide to show you around. Don't just go to somebody who's handing out flyers. Of course, there are plenty of places on the internet to help you with this sort of thing. There's the Women's Club, which isn't really a club, but is an American-based tour operator specialising in travel for women travelling solo. And all the website addresses will be posted at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Travel Chums will help you find like-minded travel companions whose personalities, interests and travel plans mesh with yours. It is not a dating site. Its purpose is to help solo travellers to travel with a buddy to share costs and experiences. There's Connecting Solo Travel Network. It's a not-for-profit international organisation of individuals that are interested in sharing tips on travelling solo and news about single-friendly trips. There is a life membership fee for this. Companions to Travel helps solo travellers find their travelling companions. There is a membership fee which can be for a year or just for a month if you only have one trip in mind. Travellers Connected is a community where you can find travel companions or ask or share advice. And there's Guinn, Where Are You Now, which has just been bought by Expedia, so this could be changing in the near future. It's a travel and lifestyle social networking community website with nearly 20 million members in over 190 countries. Guinn, or MAYN, helps you to connect with like-minded people based on your past experiences, where you would love to go and what you would love to do. If you've travelled solo, I would be really interested to know what you did and how you went, how you planned the trip, any problems you came across, or did it all go just tickety-boo and there was no problems and you don't know what all the fuss was about. Whatever the story of your solo trip, please do contact me at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. I'd like to feature your story on a future show. Checking it out before you check in on the John Guinn Travel Show on ukhealthradio.com. So earlier in the show I did about lost luggage and how you can look after your suitcase when you travel. But what about you? You're just as important, maybe even more so in some cases than your hand luggage or your checked-in luggage when it comes to getting from A to B in an aeroplane. I'm going to be talking about being comfortable on board in a few moments, but first, jet lag. Jet lag can leave travellers tired, irritable and disorientated for days. And the older I get to suffer this more and more when I'm flying from west to east. It took over a week to recover from my recent trip to Antigua. But according to scientists in the USA, all I needed to do was to expose myself to short flashes of light at night. Stanford researchers believe that the light beams travel through the eyelids and trick the brain into resetting the body's inner biological clock. 39 volunteers were tested and it was found that this shifted a person's body clock by about 2 hours. An hour of the flashlight therapy was enough even to achieve the effect. Even reading glasses can't get me to speak correctly. Body clocks synchronise to the 24-hour pattern that they're used to, and travelling across time zones for a new light-dark schedule means that some people really need to align themselves to the new time zone to feel comfortable. Most people can manage with a long-haul flight across one or two time zones, but crossing across several really messes with the clock. Dr. Jamie Zelter and the colleagues at, I know I got that wrong, don't send me any letters, I know, and colleagues from Stanford University School of Medicine believes that sleeping in the front of a strobe light could work better than current solutions such as Menalin tablets and phototherapy using light boxes that stimulate daylight. The volunteers for this had to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day for about 2 weeks. Then they were asked to sleep in the lab, where some were exposed to continuous light and others to a strobe light with 2 millisecond flashes of light similar to a camera flash, which were 10 seconds apart, and this was for an hour. The flashing light group reported nearly a 2-hour delay on the onset of sleepiness following the night. In comparison, the delay of sleepiness was 36 minutes in the continuous light group. The doctor, I'm not going to try again, calls his therapy biological hacking. Cells at the back of the eye can detect the light sent messages back to the brain, which resets the body clock. The light fools the brain into thinking that the day is longer than it really is, and that's how the inner clock is shifted. The doctor said this could be a new way of adjusting much more quickly of time changes than other methods that we're in use today. The flashing light was particularly powerful because it gave light detecting cells at the back of the eye a chance to recover or recalibrate in the darkness between the flashes, he added. I'm not a scientist, I made a right mess of that. Anyway, I'll have to give that a go next time I fly from west to east. So, finally for the show this week, what about you when it comes to flying? How do you stay comfortable on a long flight? And my flight to Antigua I just recently had, have I mentioned I've been to Antigua? It was really uncomfortable. I'm gluten intolerant. I had a pizza just to bulk me up, and the stomach pains and the swelling, oh horrible. Not many details, but anyway. How could I improve things other than not eating the pizza? Well, Justin Stablich, who wrote a New York Times article, which you can find at tinyurl.com/PJCOAJV, gave some tips on what I should have done when I was flying either direction. The first one was to check my route on routehappy.com or seatguru.com to compare the comfort levels between the airlines. In my case, it was BA and Virgin. And I was premium economy, so there wasn't much difference. But anyway, that's what you should do. Don't rely on the cabin crew to take care of anything. Have your own water to hand. Have your own snacks, socks and sweatshirts. My own personal tip, which wasn't mentioned in the New York Times, is to put your beach towel in your hand luggage. The beach towels are larger and warmer than the little blankets that the airlines provide. So if you are somebody who gets cold on a flight, take your beach towel. It's also going to be cleaner than whatever they give you. Don't be shy. If you run out of stuff, ask for more, but walk to the crew. Don't just press your button, because that really upsets people. You don't upset people by asking them to do their job. Tip there. Move around, even if you're not concerned about getting a blood clot, because walking and stretching will make you feel less miserable in general. And there's plenty you can do as well without having to walk around. You can do yoga in your seat as well, which doesn't work on radio, so I'm not going to go through it. Check out the web link I gave a few moments ago. And finally, take stuff to do. I always do this. I take books or work stuff with me, but I never do it. But anyway, what I should do is take the stuff and don't binge work or binge read, but break it up with in-flight entertainment. So don't just stick to one thing, such as watching film after film, read a book, watch a film, do some work, watch a film, watch a TV show. And that should help you be more comfortable on a long distance flight. But if you have any suggestions on how to be comfortable, please do share at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. I'm always on the lookout for extra ideas, especially if you're super tall and you have trouble with your leg room. I'm interested to know how you get around that. Anyway, the Facebook page is the place to share anything when it comes to travel or any request that you would like to see me cover on a future show. Well, this is the end of the show, and to mark the 3rd anniversary of the travel show on ukhealthradio.com, I've gone into a partnership with Not Just Travel to provide a travel booking website. The link will be at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show, or you can go to pit.notjusttravel.com/the-travel-researcher. And Not Just Travel will help you if you want to book a holiday. It's a fully bookable website. You don't have to talk to anybody if you don't want to. But please do take a look when you're looking for your holiday to see if there's anything that takes your fancy there. And as I mentioned, there's all the financial bonding, because I would not lend my name to anything which I didn't believe in as offered the great customer protection. It's very important to me, has been since the day one of this show. Anyway, I do hope you can join me next time on the Travel Show with John Guinn on ukhealthradio.com, where each week I'm checking it out before you check in.